Good morning, students. In today's lecture of mechanics, we will discuss that what are the geographical effects or the consequences of Coriolis force, which we have derived in yesterday's lecture. So we have derived in the previous lecture that the expression for horizontal component of Coriolis force was this, and the expression for vertical component of Coriolis acceleration, Coriolis force was this. So from these two components, horizontal and vertical components of force, we will find out the horizontal component of acceleration and the vertical component of acceleration. So what will be the horizontal component of Coriolis acceleration? It will be horizontal component of force divided by mass. So when you will move this m to this side, you will get Fh by m, which will give you the horizontal component of Coriolis acceleration, and it will be equal to 2 omega sine lambda Vy I cap minus Vx j cap. So this is the expression for horizontal component of Coriolis acceleration. Similarly, vertical component of Coriolis acceleration will be, move this m to the other side, you will get the ratio of vertical force divided by mass, which will give you the vertical component of Coriolis acceleration, and it will be equal to 2 omega cos lambda Vx k cap. So now we'll see that what is the effect of horizontal component of Coriolis acceleration on the motion of the particle which is moving on the surface of the earth. So first is effect of horizontal Coriolis acceleration on the particle, on the motion of the particle which is moving on the surface of earth. Now in first case, suppose that particle is moving along positive x-axis, and in the previous lecture we have drawn the diagram there where x-axis was into the plane of the paper, that is towards east. So if the particle is moving along x-axis only, that is towards east, so the y component of the velocity will be 0, because particle is only moving along x-axis. So the component of velocity along y-axis will be 0. So this implies only Vx will be non-zero and y component of velocity will be 0, because the particle is moving along x-axis. Now put this Vy equals to 0 in this equation. Suppose this is equation number 1. Put Vy equal to 0 in equation number 1. How the value of horizontal component of Coriolis acceleration will change? So AH will come out to be 2 omega sine lambda 0 minus Vx j cap. This implies horizontal component of acceleration is equal to minus 2 omega Vx sine lambda j cap. So this is the expression for horizontal component of Coriolis acceleration if the particle is moving along x-axis, that is towards east. This means the Coriolis force or the horizontal component of Coriolis force, it will act along j cap means y-axis and negative sign means negative y-axis. So if the particle is moving along x-axis, then it will experience horizontal component of Coriolis force along negative y-axis, means it will experience force towards negative y-axis. So because of this horizontal component of Coriolis force which is acting towards negative y-axis, the particle which is moving along x-axis, it will deviate from its path. To which direction? To the direction of negative y-axis. And we know that negative y-axis lies towards the right of positive x-axis. So the particle which is moving along positive x-axis, it will move towards its right. from its path. So here you can see that if the particle is moving along x-axis and if there is no Coriolis force, then there will be no deviation of the particle from its path, from its regular path. It will continue to move along x-axis if there is no Coriolis force. But we know that apart from equator, on the every point on the surface of Earth, there is always the horizontal component of Coriolis force that is acting upon the particle which is in motion. So here, because of the Coriolis force, it is acting towards negative y-axis. It means when the particle it is moving along positive x-axis, that is towards east from point P, then the Coriolis force which is acting in this direction towards negative y direction, it will deviate this particle from its path towards its right. So what does this mean? That particle, it will be deflected towards negative y-axis, and it means towards its right. So it means that the horizontal component of Coriolis force or acceleration, it deviates the particle from a straight line path to its right in the northern hemisphere. When the particle, this is Earth in the spherical form, this is equator, this upper portion of Earth, it is known as northern hemisphere, and this lower portion is known as southern hemisphere. In the northern hemisphere, any particle moving on the surface of the Earth in the northern hemisphere will experience horizontal component of Coriolis force towards the right of its path. So that is why in the northern hemisphere, every particle that is in motion, that is in a straight line motion, it will be deflected from its path towards its right. So if the particle, it is moving along negative y-axis, then it will be deflected towards its right, means in this direction. So if the particle, if it is moving along negative x-axis, then initially it is moving in this direction and it will be deflected towards its right, means it will cover this path under the effect of Coriolis force. Because when the particle is moving along negative x-axis, then the Coriolis force in the northern hemisphere, it will act along positive y-axis. How you can calculate it? Because in that case, the particle is moving along negative x-axis, means the value of I cap will be minus I cap in that case. So the value of horizontal component of acceleration, it will become plus j cap. Plus j cap means the Coriolis force will be acting towards positive y-axis in that case. So it will deflect the particle in this direction. And in the southern hemisphere, the horizontal component of Coriolis force, it deviates the particle from straight line path towards its left. If any particle, it moves on the surface of the Earth in the southern hemisphere, in the lower portion of the Earth, then in that case, the horizontal component of Coriolis acceleration or force, it deviates the particle towards its left in the southern hemisphere. Now, second case is if the particle is moving along y-axis, and in the figure or the diagram which we have drawn in the previous lecture, the y-axis was towards north. So if the particle is moving along y-axis, it means its y component velocity, the y component of velocity will be non-zero and the x component of velocity will be 0. So what will be the horizontal component of acceleration then? So horizontal component of acceleration will be Vyi minus Vx is 0. So this implies horizontal component of acceleration is 2 omega sine lambda Vy I cap. So here you can see that we have the direction of horizontal component of Coriolis acceleration is plus I cap. Means it is acting towards positive x-axis, that is towards east. So if the particle is moving along positive y-axis in this direction, if there was no Coriolis force, then it would continue to move in this direction in a straight line path. But actually what happens is that because of the presence of Coriolis force or the horizontal component of Coriolis force, under the effect of horizontal component of Coriolis force, as you can see, which is acting towards positive x-axis. So this Coriolis force, it will deviate this particle from its path towards its right, that is towards positive x-axis or towards east. So what we have concluded? So we have concluded that a particle which is moving on the surface of the earth in the northern hemisphere, that is in the upper portion of the earth above equator, then the particle will always be deflected towards its right. And in case of any particle which is moving on the surface of the earth in the southern hemisphere, that is always deflected towards its left due to the presence of Coriolis force. Now the third case is if the particle is present on the equator. We know that on the equator, what is the angle? Lambda latitude, it is 0 degree. If lambda is 0, then sine 0 will be 0. It means horizontal component of acceleration will be 0. It means horizontal component of Coriolis force will be 0. So at the equator, there is no Coriolis force acting on the particle in motion on the equator. So at the equator, this horizontal component of acceleration, it will have no effect on the motion of the particle. Means on the equator, if the particle is moving in a straight line path, it will continue to move in that straight line path because there is no Coriolis force acting which will deviate the particle from its path. So next is effect of vertical component of acceleration. So we know that we have derived, this is the expression for the vertical component of acceleration. As you can see, it acts in the direction of positive z-axis. And what is the direction in which the acceleration due to gravity acts? If this is earth, we had taken this axis as z-axis, any body which is falling from this point towards the center of the earth, then earth will be attracting that body towards its center. It means G acts along negative z-axis, and vertical component of acceleration, it acts along positive z-axis. So the direction of acceleration due to gravity and the vertical component of Coriolis acceleration is opposite. Then what about their magnitude? Magnitude of acceleration due to gravity is many times greater than the vertical component of Coriolis acceleration. So that is why most of the times the effect of vertical component of acceleration, Coriolis acceleration, is neglected. Now next comes that what are the geographical effects or the consequences of the Coriolis force. So first geographical effect of Coriolis force is deflection of rivers. Rivers deflected under the effect of horizontal component of Coriolis force, but differently in northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, because the direction in which the Coriolis force is acting is opposite in both of the cases. So the rivers which are flowing in the northern hemisphere, that is the portion above the equator, all those rivers which are flowing in the northern hemisphere experience deflection, as we have already seen just now, that every particle which is moving in the northern hemisphere on the surface of the earth experience the Coriolis force towards its right. So the rivers which are flowing in the northern hemisphere, they experience the deflection or the Coriolis force towards right because of the horizontal component of Coriolis force. So because of that, you will see that all the rivers which are flowing in northern hemisphere, their right banks, they are steeper than the left banks. Because the water, it will experience force towards right. And in the southern hemisphere, the particle is always deflected towards its left, and so is the case of rivers. So the rivers which are flowing in southern hemisphere, they will experience force, horizontal component of Coriolis force towards their left. So their left banks are steeper than their right banks in case of southern hemisphere, and in case of northern hemisphere, right banks are steeper than left banks because of the horizontal component of Coriolis force. So this is the first geographical consequence of this. And second geographical consequence is the formation of cyclones. So why cyclones occur or form? And whenever the low pressure region is created in the atmosphere or is formed in the atmosphere, suppose this is a low pressure region which is formed in the atmosphere, and this region, it is a high pressure region. Obviously, if this region is a low pressure region, then the region surrounding it will have high pressure. Then what will happen? We all know that the gases move from high pressure region to low pressure region, and same is the case with air. So the air molecules, they will move from the regions of high pressure to the low pressure. So this is the high pressure region. So the air will move from all the directions. The air will move from high pressure region to low pressure region. Why? To balance the pressure, to equalize the pressure. And if there is no Coriolis force, then the air molecules which are moving from high pressure region to low pressure region, they will trace this path, and there will be no formation of cyclones. But there is formation of cyclones, we all know that. And that is because of the presence of horizontal component of Coriolis force. And because of this horizontal component of Coriolis force, we know that in the northern hemisphere, the particle is deviated towards right of its path. So same is the case with air molecules. Air molecules, they will be deviated towards right of their paths in the northern hemisphere. So if this low pressure region, it is created in the northern hemisphere of the earth, then because of the presence of horizontal component of Coriolis force, these air molecules, they will cover this path. These air molecules, they will cover this path. These will cover this path. Means all will be deviated towards right of their path. So in this way, the wind will start whirling and cyclone will form. And similarly, so the wind will start whirling in this direction, means anti-clockwise direction, and hence cyclone is set up around the low pressure region. Whereas in case of southern hemisphere, this, as the particle or the air molecule, it will deflect towards left. Then in southern hemisphere, this wind, it will whirl in this direction, in clockwise direction. So in this way, the cyclones are formed in northern hemisphere as well as in southern hemisphere because of the presence of horizontal component of Coriolis force. And at the equator, because there is no Coriolis force, because lambda is 0 at the equator, so the horizontal component of Coriolis force is 0. So because of that, there are no cyclones formed at the equator. So you can see at the equator as lambda is 0. So horizontal component of Coriolis force or Coriolis acceleration will be 0. So no cyclones are formed at the equator. And these geographical consequences, they are very, very, very important from the examination point of view.